Hey Bricks, it's Wrigley here, and welcome to episode 8 of Middle-earth MOCs, my series in which I actually show you MOCs from all over Middle-earth, concerning the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit, and even the Silmarillion if I can find some MOCs on that. Now, I really am impressed by all of the MOCs I got to show you in this episode of Middle-earth MOC, so I hope you're going to enjoy taking a look at all of these really impressive MOCs. I think they look really cool, and I'm definitely eager to hear your opinion in the comment section down below. So while watching this video, of course, let me know which MOC is your favorite in the comment section down below so I can take a look at that. And of course, if you want to submit your own LEGO The Lord of the Rings MOC to get a showcase in a future episode of Middle-earth MOCs, of course, go ahead and submit your MOC to my Instagram DM. Submissions are open, so you can actually get a feature in a future episode, and I'll review your MOC within my Middle-earth MOC series. I'm really hyped up about that. And I also got a submission within this episode, so I'm also really hyped to show all of you that submission from a subscriber. So the first MOC we're going to go and take a look at is actually the Isengard Dam made by LittleJohn. And this MOC is really impressive, as you can see, with lots of detailing. We got rock work on both sides of the MOC. Actually, you can see a lot of rock work with just some regular slopes being used on the rock work. We got a lot of cheese pieces, and of course the technique with using slopes on their sides on bricks with studs on the sides. Now that is actually called the snot technique right over here. And I am really a big fan of this technique right here. I'm not really great at using it myself, but I definitely think it looks great in this MOC, as you can see, with lots of detailing also actually on the ground with the rock work. And the rock work itself also is really detailed with a lot of green pieces. We can see some dark tan, I believe, some olive green, some plants on the bottom, actually on the ground. And the rock work is also integrated into the ground, which also looks really nice in my opinion. So I'm definitely a big fan of that. And the dam itself also looks really cool right here with the light bluish gray pieces, with also a couple of the older light gray pieces, I believe, being switched up with the light bluish gray pieces to add a little bit of an ancient stone effect to the dam itself. And I especially like the fact that those pieces with the sort of slopes on top are actually sticking out from the dam itself. And if you take a closer look at the dam, actually, you can also see that it's made up of plates, actually, and that's really impressive because this builder must have used a lot of plates right here, and I definitely think that would have taken a long time to build right here. That's really cool right there, LittleJohn. And of course, if we're going to take a look at some other details over here, you can see a couple of urukai on top of the dam. The dam is actually tiled up right there, as you can see. And the urukai also are really nice. I've never actually seen this usage of an urukai, but you can see the urukai with a bow and quiver right over there. That's also really cool. And of course, we get an urukai with the sort of mace right there with the spikes. And then, of course, we get another urukai, actually, which isn't an urukai, but an orc from the LEGO Castle theme, I believe, with an urukai helmet right there. So that also looks really, really cool, in my opinion. And the structure actually supporting the dam right over here, you can see in the bottom, we get those dark brown pieces supporting the dam. And, of course, this big dark brown sort of branch right over here also supporting the dam. So that also looks really cool. And actually on the right of the dam, you can see this sort of wooden build actually with a ladder going up. So you can see an urukai just climbing up. And on top of the build, you can actually also see an urukai with some black arms right there. I especially like that sort of detailing to switch up the urukai minifigures. But there's actually an urukai on top, of course, taking some weaponry right there. And there's also a big stream right over here in that sort of wooden structure right there with lots of those translucent white pieces, which really adds a lot of detail to the MOC. And I especially like the sort of support underneath that little sort of canal right over there. That also looks really cool. So I'm definitely a big fan of this MOC. And of course, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this MOC. And I really think it's impressive. So you really did an amazing job on this MOC, LittleJohn. So the next MOC we're going to take a look at is actually the Battle of Helm's Deep, made by LEGO, and this is actually one of his best MOCs ever. It's actually not the most accurate Helm's Deep you'll see in terms of length, but he did want to include both the rock work and the wall breach, and I think it really looks nice. I mean, you see a lot of action, and there's also a lot of detailing on the left, actually right here, with the rock work. Of course, you can see the big sort of mountain on the left, which is just huge. You can see a lot of detailing with a lot of snot techniques actually used on the sides of the mountain, and there's also a couple of regular dark bluish gray slopes, but you can clearly see that LEGO used a lot of those snot techniques on the sides, which definitely looks amazing. I mean, you can see a lot of studs on the sides, and of course that sort of nice smooth look on the rock work, which really looks great. I really like the fact that the wall is also integrated into the rock work, as you can see, with of course the wall sort of ending at the rock scene over there with some swords and a shield, of course, of Rohan. That also is a really nice detail right there. And taking a look at the wall itself, actually, you can see a lot of detailing as well. I mean, you got all of the Uruk-hai just running towards the wall, a couple of debris pieces on the landscaping itself. The landscaping is actually in tan, dark tan, the color right over there. It also looks really cool. And I think the landscaping is really impressive with a lot of those wedge slopes. We got some green pieces, actually olive green, I believe, and of course some plants and such. There's even this water stream coming from out of course, that breach of the Helm's Deep wall right there, with some translucent white pieces used for the water. So that also looks really cool in my opinion. And taking a look at the wall itself, it also has a lot of detailing. It's really impressive how LEGO actually built this MOC right here, because the wall actually has a lot of detailing on the side if you take a closer look. And you can see a lot of sand green pieces, some pieces with studs on the side, some tiles, and even some sort of slopes on, of course, the inside, which adds a little bit of gaps within the walls, which actually makes it look like a sort of a bit of an old aged wall. Actually, that also adds a lot of detailing. And I especially like the wall pieces on top of the wall as well, which are pretty high in comparison to, of course, the minifigures, which is also really cool in my opinion. And then there's also a lot of Rohan minifigures on top of the wall. We get some elves running towards the breach of the wall, actually behind the wall right over there. And I really like the fact that all of the Uruk-hai are storming into the wall, and there's also a little bit of detailing on the inside of the breach, as you can see. So overall, I think that this MOC looks really cool, and I'm definitely a big fan of this MOC made by LEGO. So of course, let me know what you think of this MOC in the comment section down below, and I'm just really a big fan of it, so I'm really eager to hear your opinion in the comment section. So here is actually the Green Dragon Inn, made by Patrick B, and this MOC is so cool. I'm really a big fan of this location within the Lord of the Rings universe. You can see this actually at the start of the Fellowship of the Ring and at the end of the Return of the King movie. That really is something nice right over here. And Patrick B has just put a lot of detailing into this MOC. It's just mind-blowing. That's actually how many details you can see within this MOC. So we're actually going to go and take an in-depth look at this MOC right over here. So the first thing you'll notice is that the marketplace in front of the Green Dragon Inn is actually really detailed. You can see the stone walkway, actually sort of streets in front of the Green Dragon Inn, are actually really detailed with a lot of those round dark bluish gray and light bluish gray pieces switched up in a manner which you can actually see adds a lot of detailing and depth to this MOC right over here, with lots of details. That really is cool. And hobbits, of course, also love greenery, so you can see some grass surrounding the Green Dragon. Of course, we can see a big tree in front of it, and there's actually also a lot of flowers all throughout this MOC, with a couple of gardens as well. That also looks really cool in my opinion. And I especially like the inclusion of some snot techniques on, of course, those grass hills actually over there, some little hills, and that really is one of those nice details to top off this MOC in my opinion. Of course, the grass isn't really that important, but Patrick B really decided to put also a lot of detailing within that sort of little unimportant section of the grass, which is really cool and nice of him to do. Then if we're going to go and take a look at the entire Green Dragon itself, you can see a lot of detailing over here on the far left with, of course, those sort of two buildings right over there with that awesome roof. And the roof is actually all the way around the Green Dragon, curved in a sort of round manner, which also looks really great in my opinion. I really like the way that it's curved. And on the far left, of course, we can see a lot of detailing on the walls with those tan pieces and, of course, some of those brown pieces as well, which also adds a lot of detailing. At the top of the roofs also looks really nice, actually, as you can see, with those dark tan pieces, a couple of tiles and a couple of regular plates, which also adds a lot of detailing, and I really like that. And there's also, of course, this middle area of the Green Dragon with those two big green doors. Now, I don't remember those from the films, of course, well, when they were open, I remember that there was this sort of small door with Rosie and Sam, but I'm not sure, 100% sure anyways about this location, although I really like it. But yeah, this area right over here in the middle is just amazing. You can see those dark green doors with some of those dark bluish gray levers, actually, and those are also really nicely designed as well. You can see a chimney on top as well with lots of detailing. And over here, actually, this is the section I really just adore. I think it is just amazing. I think it's a superb section right over here with lots of detailing right over here. You can see this little marketplace, of course, with a hobbit selling his fruit and vegetables right over there. But you can see these three windows over here behind him. And this section right here, this building is a bit curved. So it's a round building right there. And I think it's really hard to design something like that. So I'm really fond of that area with, of course, the roof using a couple of those wedge slopes as well. So that adds a lot of detailing to this MOC. I believe that really is a nice section right there. And then, of course, over here on the far right, we can see this big building with, of course, the door. And I believe that is the entrance to the Green Dragon right over there. That dark green door, actually. And you can see the Hobbit window on the left of that with lots of detailing on the wall as well. We get, of course, that big chimney on top. And over here in the front of the Green Dragon, you can also see this little chariot with a horse. And this is actually Farmer Maggot. And that is just amazing with his dogs right there. So that is also a little Easter egg made by Patrick B, which he mentioned in, of course, the description of his MOC. So overall, I think this MOC is really cool. And let me know in the comment section down below what you think of it. The next MOC is Gandalf Arrives, made by Gregory. And at first sight, this MOC might not seem too special, and I actually agree with that. But if you take a closer look, you can see a lot of effort that went into this MOC right over here. So, of course, over here on the right, you can see Gandalf's chariot, which is actually, I believe, 100% identical to the official LEGO set right over here. And I really like the fact that Gregory added that hairpiece to Gandalf. That really looks great in my opinion. I don't know whether it's custom or not, but I would love to have it. So Gregory, if you ever watch this video, let me know in the comment section down below where you got that hairpiece, because I certainly would love to get that hairpiece. And actually in the chariot, you can see the big firework piece, of course, and the dragon firework piece actually is also a little bit more detailed with sort of wings attached to the snake right there. That also looks really cool in my opinion. And then we're actually going to go and take a look at the road right here. So what's the first thing I noticed? And that's actually those chickens over here on the left, a couple of pumpkins, some grass, some of those detailed and actually printed wooden logs right over there as well. We got some grass and some, of course, some roots over there in the back, and also a big tree actually. And I didn't notice this up till this point actually when I was recording, so that really is something special about this MOC. Actually, the front of the MOC is actually not really that detailed. It's actually really detailed with a couple of small details, but the big detailing is actually in the back right there. Of course, we get this sort of blue background right there with lots of grass pieces on the ground actually, which also adds a lot of detail. And then we get this huge tree right there with, I believe, a lot of branches coming out of it. We get some of those red leaves, actually an owl in there as well, and of course a lot of dark green and light green leaves as well coming down from the tree. So the tree is really nicely detailed, and I'm definitely a big fan of this MOC. So Gregory, you really did an amazing job on this MOC right here. I really like the detailing on, of course, Gandalf right there with that awesome hairpiece, and of course also the scene that you set up with those chickens and the detailed logs as well. That really adds a lot of detailing to this MOC. So of course, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this MOC. I'm really a big fan of this MOC right here, so I'm really eager to hear your opinion in the comment section. This is the Flight to the Ford MOC made by Nelson Neto, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I hope so. And just take a look at this MOC, take it in. This is the really epic scene from the Fellowship of the Ring where actually Arwen is taking Frodo to Rivendell. Now this scene is of course portrayed with Glorfindel, the elf who actually takes Frodo to Rivendell within the book The Fellowship of the Ring. That is also a really nice detail. I actually read that part, so that also is really a nice scene right over here portrayed within this MOC. And just take a look at this MOC. It has a lot of detailing, which we're going to go and take a look at, but I myself first of all want to say that I've never seen a MOC like this before. This is the first time I've seen the Flight to the Ford MOC, and I'm definitely a big fan of it so far. So really just thumbs up to you, Nelson. I'm really a big fan of it. And we're gonna go and take a look at your awesome work right over here. So you can see the water with a lot of translucent white and blue pieces, really adds a lot of detailing. And before we're gonna go and take a look at, of course, the horses, we're gonna go and take a look at all of the detailing with the grass. So you can see a lot of detailing on the left with, of course, the tree. We get some rock work over there, actually a brown pathway leading down from there as well. We get, of course, some grass pieces, a lot of plants, actually some flowers, and of course that sort of tan, dark tan area underneath the Nazgul, the ring rates actually. And that also adds a lot of detailing because the area where the Nazgul were actually standing was a sort of beach scene or something like that, actually sort of beach area along the river. That also really looks great, a sort of riverbank. Actually forgot the word, but right now I know it. It's a riverbank, and I think it really looks great over there with a lot of detailing. And over here on the far right, actually right over here, you can see, of course, that sort of area with the riverbank right there. You can see Glorfindel and, of course, Frodo on top of the horse, actually, also with a lot of detailing. We got some bushes and some greenery surrounding the hobbit and the elf right there. And I especially like the fact that this builder included a lot of those brown pieces to sort of make some sort of dirt design for, of course, the earth look of this MOC. That also looks really cool. And then finally, we're going to go and take a look at the Nazgul right over here, the ring rates. So this MOC builder right here has got all 9 of the ring rates. He's got the full 9 of course, Sauron's Legion right over here. That also is really cool to see within this MOC. I myself also own 9 Nazguls, so that also was really something epic if you could have that within your collection. And then, of course, we got the big sort of water horses actually right over here. And those look really detailed. You can clearly see the shape of the horse heads within these sort of white pieces within the waves. That also looks really cool. And it's really just impressive how Nelson built this MOC right here. You can see lots of detail, and you can see the head of the horse, you can see the ears, even the mouth as well. And some Nazgul are also actually being sort of attacked by the big waves of the horses right there. So the Nazgul won't stand any chance against Glorfindel's waves right over there. I'm definitely a big fan of this MOC, and of course let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this really impressive MOC right over here. So right now, I'm actually going to show a MOC submission submitted by a fan of Brickley right over here. And of course, if you want to have your own LEGO The Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit MOC showcased in one of my episodes of Middle-earth MOCs, of course, go ahead and submit it to my Instagram DM. don't be shy. You can submit it, and I will definitely go ahead and feature it in my Middle-earth MOC series, even if it is a small MOC or not detailed. I will definitely feature it because I just love interacting with every single one of you. So go ahead and submit that really epic MOC you have on your shelf or which you are building right now. Just go ahead and build, and if you haven't built something, go ahead and build something and you'll get a feature in a future episode of Middle-earth MOCs. It's not that hard actually. But right now we're gonna go and take a look at a really cool MOC made by NOOB Studios. This is actually Gandalf at Dol Guldur right over here with a lot of detailing on this MOC. You can see this is the scene where actually the orc is trying to cut off Gandalf's finger and trying to separate the ring of Gandalf. Actually, I believe it's the Ring of Fire or something. I'm not sure. I'm not really deep into the lore of the rings actually, so I really need to study that a bit more. But you can see the orc right over here with the cage, of course. He actually removed Gandalf from the cage. But over here on the bottom, you can see a lot of detailing with the rock work, so that also looks really cool. NOOB Studios, thank you for submitting this MOC right here. We get some detailing over here on the left as well with that tower, a sort of tree right here with some red leaves actually as well. And over there in the back, you can also see that sort of stair system, which also looks really cool in my opinion. That's sort of a well, actually a technique which was used within the official LEGO Dol Guldur set. So that also is really creative of you to include within this MOC right over here. And taking a look at this MOC from another angle, you can see the orc sneaking up on Gandalf within the cage, and Gandalf actually looked really lifeless in there. So that also is really a nice scene to portray within this MOC right there. You can see a spider web over here, and actually also a lot of rock work over here on the bottom with actually not a lot of slopes, but it also is a nice thing to see right here with all of those regular Lego bricks right there as well. So that also looks really cool in my opinion. So I want to thank you for submitting this MOC to Middle-earth MOCs. This MOC looks really cool, and let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this epic Dol Guldur MOC. So yeah, that was actually already episode 8 of Middle-earth MOCs, and yeah, time flies everyone. I want to thank every single one of you for supporting this series. We've already reached episode 8 of Middle-earth MOCs, and I can't believe that a series which I actually initially only wanted to be 1 episode or 2 episodes grew into an 8th episode series. And I will definitely continue doing this series because I love taking a look at MOCs together with all of you. And I also really like the fact that all of you are submitting your own LEGO The Lord of the Rings MOCs. So if you haven't done that yet, of course, go ahead and submit your MOC to my Instagram DM because I really want to interact with all of you a lot more. And of course, let me know in the comment section down below which of these MOCs was your favorite. I definitely enjoyed taking a look at every last one of them. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this episode of Middle-earth MOCs. And if you did, of course, let me know by leaving a thumbs up because that really helps me out. Go subscribe to Brickley if you want to see more LEGO content. And of course, ring that notification bell to stay updated when I post any LEGO videos. And I'll see you all in the next episode.